Formula One never stops surprising us, and just a few days ago, perhaps one of the biggest surprises of this season became official. Logan Sergian was dropped from Williams, and that opened up a lot of possibilities to see who could be his replacement this season. After several intense days with numerous candidates, the name of the driver who will debut in Formula One and compete in the remaining 9 races of the World Championship has been revealed. It also marks the return of a Latin American representative after a 23-year absence from the sport. But above all, we have closely followed his career. Williams officially announced that the Argentine Franco Colapinto will be the one to drive the Williams during the last 9 remaining races of this World Championship. But for the kid, it not only means his official debut in the top category, but also his chance to prove his worth for better opportunities in the future. These days, we've been releasing videos about young talents who will debut in Formula One to analyze their journey and their track record. Today, we'll scrutinize the Argentine's track record and career, ultimately giving our opinion on whether signing him is justifiable. Just as we've done with all the rookies in Formula One. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the special video of Who is Franco Colapinto? To begin, let's provide some background on the driver we're discussing. And the name of the protagonist this time is Franco Alejandro Colapinto, a boy born in Pilar, Argentina, on May 27, 2003, who in this year, 2024, under very strange circumstances, he will make his debut in Formula One for the 9 remaining races left in this World Championship. Franco Colapinto has dual Argentine-Italian nationality, from his father Anibal and mother Andrea, but the boy has always raced representing the Argentine flag. However, his first records competing in the world of motorsports date back to 2013, when he started competing in local karting series, but also where he began to compete in American and European series. As you should know, karting is always the first step for many drivers on their way to Formula One. Some of Franco's successes in karting. It brought him some remarkable results, such as the victory in the Argentine Pre-Junior Championship in 2016. Second place in the 22nd Winter Cup South Garda 2017. Or even the victory in the Jute Olympics exhibition event in 2018. These are just some of the successes this boy had in the world of karting, which in fact was quite a remarkable step. Fangio's racing career lacked consistent financial support from his home country of Argentina. An anecdote claims that at age 14, during a trip to Europe, he slept in a factory to save money. Despite that, in 2018, he had his first experience with a single-seater to make the leap into the world of motorsports. He raced in the Spanish Formula 4 series for Drive X, a team backed by Formula 1 driver Fernando Alonso. He reached the final rounds as surprising both locals and outsiders, with 2 fifth places, a second place, and a victory in the last race of the season at the Navarra circuit. With these results and a secured budget, they managed to get Franco a full-time spot in the 2019 series, where he would compete again for Drive X. And this was his first year competing full-time in Europe. It was truly incredible. He dominated the category, becoming champion with 11 wins, 14 podiums, 9 pole positions, and 10 fastest laps in 21 races. He racked up a total of 325 points to dominate the championship, finishing almost 100 points ahead of the second place in a truly astonishing display. Obviously, thanks to that result, it would allow him to move up in the world of motorsports. And in 2020, the year marked by the pandemic, he managed to secure his participation in 2 championships, the Castrol Toyota Series, a championship in New Zealand, and the Formula Renault Eurocup. He finished a respectable 3rd in the drivers' standings for the New Zealand Series. Throughout the season, in 15 races, he scored 1 victory, 7 podiums, 1 pole position, and 2 fastest laps, totaling 315 points, which earned him 3rd place, but he fell behind the local driver Liam Lawson and the Brazilian champion Igor Fraga. However, the main focus was to achieve a good result in the series sponsored by Renault. In his first year, he achieved a remarkable performance. He raced with MP Motorsport again that year, achieving 2 wins, 8 podiums, and 2 fastest laps in 19 races, which earned him 213.5 points and 3rd place in the driver's standings. They were only beaten by Caio Collet and Victor Martins, with the latter ultimately taking the champion's crown. However, at the end of that season, at this particular point, that's when things started to get a bit tough, with the issue of not having a large enough budget to allow him to immediately move up to Formula 3. Therefore, in 2021, he had to stay in the category that year would be renamed to Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. In addition, he and his team decided to split their activities in the regional formula and explore other horizons. With participation in the European Le Mans Series, the European Endurance Championship. He competed with the G-Drive team in this discipline, finishing 4th in the season championship together. Franquito won a race and also competed in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In Formula Racing, the goal was to win the championship. However, his 2021 campaign was problematic, with disqualifications, crashes, and schedule conflicts with the Endurance Championship. Anyway, he had a very problematic start in the series. Even so, despite such a disastrous start, he managed to come back and finish in 6th place in the driver's standings, having scored 2 victories. 4 podiums, 3 pole positions, and 4 fastest laps allowed him to finish in that respectable position. Similarly, in endurance racing categories. Before all of this year, he also participated in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Le Mans Series Cup, where his team finished in 3rd place overall. The truth is that 2021 had brought good results, and therefore, his team focused on getting the necessary budget to secure a full season in Formula 3 and thus compete throughout all of 2022. He would achieve this by signing with the Van Amersfoort team and representing their colors. Despite finishing 9th in the driver's standings, the boy secured 2 victories during the season and beat his 2 teammates by a landslide. That performance did not go unnoticed at all, because at the end of this 2022 a Formula 1 team would bet on his talent. The British team Williams, which added him to its Young Talent Academy, and they would help him continue in Formula 3 in 2023. Looking for a result within the top 3 places that would allow him to keep advancing in the motorsport development programs. In 2023, he would rejoin the MP team, with whom he has always had an excellent relationship and achieved great results. He finished the 2023 season 4th in the drivers' standings with 2 wins and 5 podiums, showing very good speed and consistency, which allowed him to fight for the top 3 until the last race, ultimately falling short in that final showdown. Frankly, 4th place is a good result in a competitive championship like Formula 3. But it seems, and according to what Franco himself said, there were goals that weren't achieved that season in order to secure a seat in Formula 2. And it's understood that it was necessary to finish in the top 3 of the season. Moreover, his academy teammate, Zach O'Sullivan, had achieved it, suggesting that a promotion to Formula 2 would be difficult due to budget constraints. But this is exactly where his hometown came together, in an incredible social media campaign to get him support from sponsors, with the hashtag Franco painted it to Formula 2. And thanks to all this movement, many brands joined Franco's cause. Williams continued backing their driver, enabling him to progress and compete full-time in Formula 2 in 2024. The last step that exists before Formula 1. But not only that, because thanks to that good result in Formula 3, he was able to drive in the last round of the championship at the Abu Dhabi circuit. Once the Formula 1 season ended, he would achieve a historic milestone for himself. They drove Formula 1 in the post-season test that Williams offered him, thanks, as I mentioned, to the result he achieved in Formula 3. In 2024, he has left a good impression with strong performances and flashes of talent, like the overtaking move on the last lap of the race in Imola, which earned him the victory in that competition. In addition to a couple more podiums in the season. Speed, consistency, regularity. And he's beating not only his academy teammate, but even his teammate in the driver's standings. And those performances earned him a reward from Williams for his attitude, giving him the opportunity to officially debut in a Formula 1 session during the free practice at the British Grand Prix. And it's precisely at this point, in particular, where we've already crossed the halfway mark of the season. And with 9 races left to finish the year, the announcement is made of his signing to compete precisely in those 9 races in Formula 1. With the Williams team, he achieved the historic milestone purely through talent. But we need to understand then how that event happened and how his signing with the Williams team came about. Well, it's no surprise to anyone that in recent years, Logan Sergian hasn't been the driver Williams expected since his signing. In 2023, he has been a driver who has lacked pace, has always been far behind his teammate, and above all, has been costly with many accidents. His last one occurred during practice 3 at the Dutch Grand Prix. It was basically the last straw that made Williams decide to fire him. Logan Sergian already knew he wouldn't race in 2025, because they signed Carlos Sainz for that position. But his lack of pace and the damage he has caused to the car make Williams see it as necessary to replace him for these 9 remaining races, trying to maximize a possible better result in the constructors' standings. But above all, resources. And many names were considered for that position, like Mick Schumacher, Liam Lawson, Felipe Drugovich, and also Franco Colapinto himself. Thanks to Williams' familiarity with their driver and his connections, they secured an attractive budget for the team. In addition, since the team itself is impressed with his skills, they decided to create the right opportunity for the driver and give him the chance to compete in the remaining 9 races of the season. As I said, it will only be those 9, as the 2025 lineup is set with Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. But this is a golden opportunity to prove that he deserves a chance in the future, or maybe to showcase himself to another team on the grid. But now, understanding how his signing came about, it's time for the question that many are asking. Does Franco deserve this opportunity? Are they giving it to him because he's a pay driver, as many are saying? Is he Formula 1 material? If I have to be completely honest, I think his promotion to Formula 1 is happening way too quickly, and that could eventually burn him out. Making your debut in Formula 1 so quickly is a huge risk, but is it true that there are opportunities that only come once in a lifetime? And Franco had to take it no matter what, because sometimes this category doesn't give you time to prepare properly. Either you get on the train when it stops at your station and perform the best you can, or you simply never take it. Therefore, you could say that Franco hasn't had the chance to prepare better. The opportunity came, and quite simply, it had to be taken. Franco's debut will be under extremely difficult conditions, but those who are loyal followers of this channel know that since 2020 we've said that Franco is Formula material. The kid has overcome a lot of adversity, a lack of budget, and even moving to the other side of the world to pursue a dream that he's achieving today. All thanks to his talent. He has always performed well in every category he's competed in, and he's always achieved good results, which obviously are backed up by what we've mentioned before. As I told you, these 9 races will be vital, but also a huge risk. If he doesn't perform, he probably won't get another chance like this one. But if he does well, nothing is set in stone for the future. I would even dare to say that the possibility of seeing him full-time in 2025 wouldn't be ruled out. In another team, Franco, as a Williams member, earned that chance by defeating his fellow academy drivers, performing well in the races he has participated in and the tests he has done with a Formula 1 car. Therefore, I believe this opportunity is valid, and the guy deserves this chance in the top category of motorsport. And you really have no idea how. I'm glad that the guy I've been following since 2019 is making his debut in Formula 1 today. And honestly, I hope it's not just about these 9 races, but that it's the start of a long relationship with Formula 1. Obviously, we'll be keeping a close eye on Franco, because if we've been following him since 2019, we're not going to stop now. Now that he's in Formula 1, we wish him the best, and we know he has the talent. We just know how hard it will be to prove it in the 9 races, which obviously for him will be all or nothing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap up the special video of who is Franco Colapinto? What's your opinion of the Argentine guy? Were you aware of his track record? Does he deserve this opportunity? Or do you think he should have been a bit more patient? Let me know all your opinions in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, turn on notifications to know when I upload new videos, and share this with your friends. I also invite you to follow us on our Instagram and Twitter accounts. Links are in the video description. And I'll see you soon to analyze more young drivers who will debut in Formula 1 in the near future. Thank you for tuning in, and see you later.